Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have one more chess video. Um, More rapid games. Played a couple more today. Actually, these games were a little older. They were like 3 weeks ago, and I forgot to upload the video. So now that I remember to upload a video, I will show you some games I played 3 weeks ago because I could have uploaded like earlier, but I forgot. So here we go. Okay, let's start. We have a Spanish opening. Now, we go here, the cozy defense. It's the safe option because if I do what the engine says, which is the Morphy defense, we have this, and I have an ugly pawn structure that is incurable. Knight g7, knight e7 is the safest option to play because now it's just a trade. a3, mysterious move. g6, trying to fianchetto my bishop. d3, bishop g7, developing the bishop, castles, a6, attacking the bishop, and b5 as well. Bishop e3, castles, knight c3, knight a5, attacking the bishop a2, and of course d6, solidifying the center. There we go. This is the good stuff for you in this channel. We got so many moves left. Buckle up. b4, attacking my knight. Knight c6, bishop b2, bishop e6. If he takes me, which is the best move apparently, I get the file. And I feel like I'm in a slightly better position because, I have attacking possibilities on the f-file, so instead we'll get knight d5. Now, if I'm lazily take this, it's like devastating. So instead, we have queen d7, just solidifying everything. c4, f5. Now, I guess that knight move makes sense because you're putting pressure on the bishop and you're going to be forced to take. Knight takes c7 check. Knight takes e7. I'm sorry, knight e7, yep. And then knight d2, just rerouting for no reason. Just rerouting a horse on the train station. Nothing too crazy about that. B takes c4, d takes c4, rook a to b8, e takes f5, rook takes f5, knight e4, queen c6, crisscross applesauce, and we have the first blunder of our game, rook c1. Now, that's just a horse. It doesn't matter that you're attacking me, because I'll just move back. Once you take, I have the advantage. I have more pieces than you. I have an extra piece. Actually, 2 extra pieces for a rook, which means you get a +1 advantage. Well, not in the computer. You're up 2 pieces. +1, like +1 pawn, for example. That's what it... Like, if you play a game and you trade a bishop and a knight for a rook, just a rook, it's going to be +1 for you. If you have the rook. If the opponent does that, then you're stupid. Unfortunately, after this move, we play the very interesting and meme-like queen d4. Hanging the queen in one move, but my opponent was also sleepy at the time, so bishop takes f5. Bishop takes f5. Queen takes c4. Now he sees it. Bishop takes c4. h3. Bishop e2. Rook e1. Rook e1. Rook e1. Bishop d3. Attacking a pawn. But I'm not really attacking it. c5. a5. c d6. c d6. Rook d1, rook d1, and I have no idea what it does. Bishop f5, rook takes d6, a takes b4, a takes b4, rook takes b4, attacking the bishop. Bishop has to move back. Bishop a3, rook b3, rook d8 check, king f7. Bishop takes e7. Now it's not a really good move. You're losing. You're like down the whole piece, and you're trading your material. Now a good move. King takes e7. Now, of course, let's be honest with ourselves here. Who has the more prospects for an attack? Like, if I just gave you this position, no evol, no anything. Like, if I could turn the evol right now, here. Let me turn everything. If I just gave you this position, let's say that you didn't see the -0.1 or something. Who do you think is better here? Like, from how it looks, black. Why? But white has two rooks. Rooks are better than bishops, right? Not in this case. You have a rook and two bishops. Your opponent has two rooks. You have an extra piece. You can control more squares with that extra piece. So that's better. Now, let's of course back with is move feed. Oh my god, move feedback exists. I forgot. There's move feedback. I didn't know that. I'm not even a member. Anyways, I guess we'll just get rid of the engine lines. Yeah. Rook. Yeah. Aha. Ha. I told you. The memes are here. You did not believe me. Here are the memes. Bishop takes a8. You did not believe me. The memes are here. d4 out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. g4. Bishop d7. Rook e1, attacking the weak pawn, which is already defended. Bishop f6. King g2. Bishop c6 check. King h2. e4. King g1, going back and hanging a pawn. And then I'm just gonna go back once he attacks me. But instead of going back, Bishop c3, threatening a trade. Now, absolutely, you should not take the trade and do this instead. Absolutely should not, and you must not. Also, there's this crazy sacrifice, by the way. If you take, and you promote. Actually, on God, you promote. You just promote. Actually, you just lose the queen instantly, but has the better prospects here. You, black. Instead, though, he trades. It's the top engine move, or close to that. But here's the problem. It's mate. It's literally mate. King g3, king f6. I'm just getting closer. King z2. e3 discover check. f3. Bishop f2. Covering the promotion square. King f1. King g5. King e2. King f4. King f1. Bishop b5 check, which is a miss apparently. There was like a mate in 2, but I did not see that. It's fine. King c2, h5, take, and there's just no way to stop the pawn on e3 to stop it from promoting. There's like no way to stop it. I mean, apart from the very interesting tomato ketchup queen g4, I feel like the game was pretty standard. So, yeah. Let's go to the next. Okay. Let's begin the next game. e4, e6. The friends. But we get the small center defense. I mean. Now, there's a couple options like developing the bishop on d3. But I go for the c4, which is the aggressive option to get the triple pawn center. And I have h6. Now, I can just go 4 pawns attack. Straight up. Just 4 pawns attack. No one can stop me. Maybe even 5 pawns on b4. Who can stop me, guys? But let's keep it simple. Knight f3. Just simple. Defending the center. Nothing too crazy. Knight e7. Knight c3. Knight g6. That's just trolling. There's no way you actually meant this move. So, d5. That's a mistake, apparently. It's because of bishop e7? I don't know why that's a mistake. But whatever. Actually, h4 is the top engine move here. Wow. I'm not going to ask why it's that. e5, locking down the center. Now it says that bishop e7 is the best move. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to turn engine lines on at this point. Yeah. Now it's way better. Now we know why it's a bad move or not. Bishop d3. Bishop e7, now it's played, preparing a castle. Oh, and g3. Stopping the knight that was planted on g6 from coming to f4 or h4, depending on my choice, on their choices. f5, aggressive. My aggressive move is played against me. E takes f5, bishop takes f5, and of course, bishop e3, keeping the tension, although my opponent is not interested in tension. Bishop takes d3. Keep in mind, this is a rapid game, by the way. So, we go here. Takes my knight. I take his knight. I'm really close to his position. Unfortunately, though, my opponent plays knight d7. And you notice the bar has grown significantly. That's because of the move bishop takes h6. You can't take that bishop because you're pinned to the king. So, rook f7 back. Knight e4, bringing another piece to the attack. Knight f6. Knight c5. There's serious pressure on that rook. Queen f8. And, I mean, knight e6 just wins on the spot. I mean, straight up. But I do knight takes f7, which drops my advantage. Queen takes f7. Queen takes f7 check. We have a queen trade. And bishop g5. And my opponent decides to play knight e4. And I just trade. And now I'm simply up a whole rook. So what do we do when you're up a rook? You just attack. But first we defend this attack. Any knight jump. We just defend any knight jump for my opponent. G5, top engine move. It does literally nothing. But whatever. We are not gonna meme on our opponent. F3. The quiet, sneaky F3. Knight F6. H3. Look at the pawns going. Look at my pawns going. Rook H8. King G2. King D7. I don't know why he did that. Sidestep. B4. Clamping down on the queen side. B6. B5. Ooh, the clamp. King C8. Going back to the peg rank. And A4. Our pawns are sitting there like sitting ducks. King B7. Rook A2 A1. E4. F4. Take. Knight H5. Rook takes C4. And Rook G8. Rook G4. Now, for some reason, the engine says to do this. Because after this, there's this, but there's just... I don't know what the engine is saying. Let's just ignore what the engine says, okay? Rook G4, though. Rook E8. Rook H4. Knight F6. King F2. Knight E4 check. King F3. Knight E2 check. King F2. Draw? No. No draw. Rook takes E4. Rook E1. Rook takes E4. And G4. You can take all my pawns. Take all of them. Rook F4 check. King G3. Rook F5. King G4. Take that pawn as well. I don't need it. G6. Rook D4 check. King F5. D5 check. King F6. Rook H5. G7. Take that pawn as well. Come on. Thank you. You're so kind. Now get hit with a queen promotion. So, that's why you shouldn't be too greedy in chess. Because things like that can happen. And it happened. And my opponent resigned here. So, yeah. That's the end of that. This was a rapid game, by the way. Just saying that, so, you know. These blunders happen in all time controls, by the way. So, let's go to the next game. Okay, it's time I brought you a meme game. It's time I brought you another one of those. So, this is a game, as you can see on the bottom. It's only 16 moves long. And the reason it's 16 moves long, you're gonna see why. Because when I played this game, in the rapid game, I cried and I laughed. Let's begin. We have a King's Gambit. A declined one as well, but it doesn't say declined. I don't know what to do if you want to decline it. Now, the engine says E4 is the greatest because you're just gonna break up in the center. And be chill. Bishop A6 though. For trolling purposes, I double my pawns. And whatever. Queen H5! Ooh, a sneaky little threat. Will he see? Will I see that I have to defend my pawn? No. What about Knight F6? But this guy might be a Gotham Chess subscriber. He goes danger levels. He attacks So instead of moving his queen away, he counterattacks my knight. Not only is he attacking my knight, he's actually threatening it. So I have to move it away. And I have a bunch of choices. 2 of them capture something. And the others are trash. So, yeah. The queen just dies. Next move on the board, d3, solid. If you played that move before you hung your queen and your bishop in like 2 moves, I would appreciate it. D takes e5, bishop h6, strong, powerful move. D takes h6, I double all my pawn structures, I don't even care anymore. I mean, what you gonna do? I got a queen on the board. I have more pieces than you. Knight f3. Queen e7. Yeah, I told you this is a meme game. Knight takes e5. Just knight takes e5. Queen takes e5. No, from time to time, these games are paradise. Knight c3. The only developing and defending move that I have seen through the course of this game. Bishop e4, though. I have more pieces, and I can trade them. a3. Takes, and check. He has the state of mind to realize that he can defend his rooks, but the position is like mate. So, knight f4 check. If I let the ensign think for a while, it's going to find some mates. Depends on my Wi-Fi as well. Yeah, as you can see, it's already spit some lines up. King f3. Just, simple. Attacking my knight. Queen d2 check. No, that's not a check. I was just getting some YouTube notifications. I'm trying my hardest to set them up. Whatever. Rook e1. Knight c6. g3. And we have 2 choices of mate. Knight e5 or knight d4. Both of them are mate. And I choose e5. Because let's put the horses like right next to each other and shove their own butts in the stables. Yeah. That's the end of game number 3, I think. Yeah. I told you it's a meme game. Now, before we leave this game, the guy is 1100. Just saying. The guy is 1100 on a rapid game. Look how much time he spends on each move. How much time he spends on each move. Like, I saw this was going like, what the hell is that? Straight up. Look how much time he's spending. Look how much time he's spending. Look. Just look. How much time he's spending. Look how much time. Just look at the time he's spending. But I'm not going to meme the guy. He's probably a chill guy in real life. But in chess, his pieces just get awfully disrespected. Let's go to the next game. This is the 4th game. And it begins like a classic Italian would. With a knight f6, inviting the fried liver. Which the ensign likes, but I don't recommend it because it's lots of theory. And it's just an opening trap that beginners fail most of the time. d3. This is the 2 knights, modern bishops opening. h6, preventing fried liver shenanigans. And then we have knight c3. Bishop c5. The Gioco Pianissimo 4 knights variation. Normally you go for the c3, d4 in the Italian, but here I guess it's fine, whatever. Castles, d6, solidifying the center. h3, very mysterious and powerful. Now, the ensign already says go for a kingside attack and go on queenside, but knight d4, whatever. I'm just gonna trade his powerful knight for my bishop here. Knight d5, takes. We have some bishops standing on the opposite colors, just sitting there. The horses are off the table, and I just castle, knowing that I have no horse on the board. c3, bishop e6, b4, c6, bishop e3, queen e7, queen f3, bishop e6, bishop c2, and f5. Here it is. Here's my legendary f5. E takes f5, rook takes f5, queen z3, rook a to f8. And then my opponent here thought for a while. d4. And in this position, e takes d4. Hanging my rook for a bishop. But here's the problem. The position is just like... I mean, it's just like plus 0.6. It's not even that much of an advantage. Because it gives props to this. Which I just open up the position. Like, you don't have any threats. After this, then I'm just gonna like... I will go here. Although here it just says this nasty idea. And once I take, then there's, well, mate. Nasty idea. But I guess that's the threat. But if you have careful play, like, not necessarily the top ends and moves, but it says plus 0.4 now. So the advantage is not that much. It's unclear. So we go for this, just piling up. Here my opponent panics and plays c takes d4. And bishop takes d4, attacking the rook. And my opponent panics again. So he thought for a while, or she, I don't know. And plays rook a to e1, trapping his rook. By some miracle or by some insane calculation, my rook sacrifice in the middle of the game on move 18 proves useful, because my bishops are monsters. I don't know how that happened. Rook e8 check, king h7, and bishop e1 blunder. You could have retreated rook. Actually, here, it's not really clear what to do. Let me show you a couple of lines. The only move here is this. But it just hangs this. And the opponent, it says to take this and hang both rooks. Which is bananas. I mean, I would... And then go here for this. That's what the engine suggests. It's the best outcome. You just go in the opposite color bishop's endgame that you're completely winning. You have more pawns, so you're just gonna rust on the king side. I mean, queen side. Like, straight up, you're just gonna rust on the queen side. And it will be over. Like, straight up. But no. He plays bishop e1. Let's say you... Well, before that. Let's say you don't go for the top engine line. Let's say you, retreat the rook somewhere. Let's go you pile up. Let's say you pile up. There's this. Nasty idea. Once you take, then you just take the queen for free. So... And the engine already says sacrificial ideas with the rook, but you are faster. Oops, my bad. That was a mistake. Yeah. You just completely win. Or you can play bishop e1 and hang a rook. And now you're completely equal. It says it's a miss, but in my opinion, it's not a miss. It's just getting back what's mine. King takes f1. Bishop e5. Attacking the queen. Although queen d3 looks nice, unfortunately, it misses to one thing. One slide of the queen to g6. Here, there's two things hanging. The rook, which, well, has to move. But apart from the rook, there's also another thing hanging in the position. The queen. Rook takes f2 check. Discover attack on the queen. You win the queen. And the game. The opponent resigned here. Out of tilt, probably. Or out of the fact that you're probably going to lose. And that's the end of this game. Let's go to the next one. Now, you might be wondering, why is the piece placement so weird? It's because this is Chess 960. So, Chess 960 is also known as Fischer Random, which is basically normal chess. The pawns are normal, but the pieces are randomized the same way as each side. So we have this position. It's like there's 960 possible positions, which is probably why the reason it's named Chess 960. So e4, e5, knight b to c3. Yeah, this is what it's gonna be from here on out. Bishop e4, aggressive on the first move. d3, center solidification. Nothing crazy just yet. Bishop, d6. I meant to say bishop d6, but there's no bishop on d6. Whatever. a3, just attacking the bishop. Bishop c5. Bishop e2. Bishop d7. b4. Bishop e6. And knight d5. Knight b to c6. b5. Knight comes closer. And I do this. Looks good, no? It doesn't. King of 8. Wants to take the rook. He goes... Oh!
It looks like my opponent has miscalculated their pieces, cause now it's just an equal game of positional style, I have to say. No?
It's sort of equal. I'm just down a pawn, but it's better than being checkmated, no? But no. No, my opponent is in no mood to do that. Knight c3, just defending the bishop. Bishop takes b5. Knight takes b5. And hanging the fork. I mean, of course, like, come on, okay? But it's not clear who's equal here. I mean, yes, the engine says, like, minus 1.5, but who do you think is equal here? I don't know who it is. a6, though. Knight c3. We got more moves, so buckle up. Knight e6. Bring the knight closer. knight d5. Queen d8. Mysterious move, which does nothing. Bishop d2. Bishop a7. Very mysterious slide. Bishop b4, just, going a little in the forward. c6. g6. Very weird pawn movements. Queen d2. King g7. Oh, we can't really castle here, because I don't know why. Doesn't let us. King e2. d5. Rook b1. d4. Knight g4. Ooh, tough, really. Minus 0.3. I mean, minus 3. But no, a5. I mean, did you really just expect something like this to happen? No. Yeah, the queen is hit. Queen h4. h3 defends everything, holds everything. Knight f4 check. King f1. The only possible move to defend. Bishop c5. Whoops. It looks like you have hung something. Knight takes c5. Oops. Oof. It looks like bishop takes a3 is a horrendous mistake. Because if rook takes b7, you gotta stop that threat. So queen c5. g3. Takes, and takes. Rook a2. Rook a8. I confused the move order for some seconds. Bishop c7. Bishop b2. Rook takes b2, just claiming the free bishop. Rook a1 check. King e2. c5. Rook b5. Rook a7. Bishop b5 check. King h6. And rook takes e5. This is a completely winning endgame. There's no way for our opponent to bounce back. And that's all. That's all the games for today. I will see you guys some other time. Later.